Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Joyce Whitman. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I'm glad you could join me tonight. I'm just checking to make sure I have everything going here before we get started. Okay, so you can see everything. I got to move it down just a little bit. I make sure I'm stay in the, what do I want to say? Area so you guys can see what I'm doing. These are the cards that we're going to be making this evening. They're gift cards, and I will say that I did not design the layouts or the folds and all that. I did not personally design those. I got these some off Pinterest, some online, some my friend made. And so but I did do the other designing, the layout of it and how I made it and all of that. So, but I'm glad you could join me. And you know, at this time of the year, especially this year, hi Pam, I'm so glad you joined us tonight. Hi Veronica, thank you for joining. If you guys could be so kind as to share this, I would really appreciate that. Thank you, Pam. This time of year, you know, we're all getting ready, doing lots of shopping, and sometimes I like to give gift cards and sometimes I like to give presents. But when I do give gift cards, I want them to look pretty too. I don't want to just hand them a plain little envelope. So that's what I'm going to show you tonight, is how we can make some simple gift card holders. Okay, if you have bought my kit for this, we're going to actually start with this one right here. So let me move these off to the side. I'm going to show you, now I primarily used 2 stamp sets tonight, but you could easily use different stamp sets for these. You don't have to have the ones that I used. So let me get this quickly organized here. All right, so that one goes here. Got to put everything back in their bins so I know which one goes with what. And I did want to show you, every class, I always make a little treat with my, for my attendees of any of my classes, whether they get it in the mail or they're in person. I always make a little treat. Well, this time, one of our gift cards is actually from the Paper Pumpkin kit from November. I wanted to show everyone that kit. So it's gingerbread. So this is a retired, I will tell you, this is a retired stamp. I just wanted to tie it in, and this is retired ribbon, but you just pull it out and look, it's a Kit Kat. It's a simple little box. There's no bottom to it. You just put it in there, and there you go. Just something a little cute for my attendees. Now, the 2 stamp sets that I did use this time is Warm Hugs. Now, this is in the Stampin' Up! 2020 mini catalog. It's from July through December mini catalog. I call it the holiday catalog. I've always called it the holiday, and it's probably always going to call it the holiday. But that is Warm Hugs. We are using stamps out of this one. We will be using the For You. This one's on me. I used the candy canes and this little tree right here. And then also we use Perfectly Plaid. Now this one is in the annual catalog. And because I will let you know, this one will be there, but I can almost guarantee that this one's going to retire. This coming, you know, like in May, this will, or the beginning of June, this one will retire. But I love this one, and it comes with a punch, which I really like. Let me quick grab that to show that to you, because we did use it. I did use it on some of the cards, the projects, and this is the tree punch, and I just love it. So let's get started and start crafting, shall we? I'll stick those right there. Okay, so this is the first one we're going to make. Now, when you're looking in your kit, you want the one with the designer series paper. This is the Snowflake Splendor from the holiday catalog. And I'm using the beautiful Seaside Spray metallic ribbon. Love that. And that's actually one of the colors of my daughter's wedding. So I have lots of that, the color, the ribbon, all of it. And I did use the blue backed adhesive blacked gems. And so we have those. And I'm excited to say that those are being carried over. I'm not sure if it's going to the holiday catalog or if it's going to go in the annual catalog. I don't remember that, but it is going to be carried over. And I did include an envelope so that you can put it in as it is bigger. You're not just handing it that way. You're going to have an envelope. And this is our card. You're going to open it up like this, and you're going to put your gift card right here. Now, this is my friend Susie made this card, this design. And so I was asking her, can I please use it? And she's like, absolutely. So I was real excited when she told me that. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to take let me grab my cheat sheets for all the measurements. We are going to grab a Pacific point, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's nice. You can get 4 of these out of one sheet of cardstock. The next one is, this is Highland Heather, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I also ran this through the winter snow embossing folder. Now, I do know this one is going to retire. So there's a big sale going on right now. So if you want it, get it. I have not had a chance to check and see if it's sold out yet. But if not, I love it. I'm not sure if you can see the beautiful snowflakes on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach that one, the Highland Heather, onto the Pacific Point. And if you remember my trick, you're going to take the 3 sides here. We want all the same. Hi, Wynn. Thank you for joining. We're going to make sure that they're all the same. And when you do that, you put your fingers here, drop it, and it's going to be perfectly centered. All right, so now we can set that off to the side for a minute. Here, let me put this up here. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to take our designer series paper. Now, I always open this up so I make sure I do this the correct way. So you have 3 score lines here. This is measured at 4 1/4 by 9 3/4, and I scored it at 3 1/4 and 6 1/2. So what we're going to do is the first line on your right, the one you would have scored at 6 1/2, you're going to take and you're going to fold it in this way. And you want to make sure that your sides are lined up and then burnish that. And you want to be gentle because we're using designer series paper. So you don't want to, if you press too hard, it could rip your paper or even crack it. So you want to be gentle with it. Then you're going to take where we scored it at 3 1/2 and we're going to fold it back like this. And again, just gently score that. So what we're doing is, this is the way it's going to look when we put it on here. So this is how you folded it. Let me see that. That's how you want to fold it. Okay, so one thing we want to do, we're going to make the pocket to put in our gift card. I should have grabbed, let me see if I can quick grab those. I should have grabbed a gift card. I thought I had a bunch of these stuck in here somewhere to use. Of course, now that I want it, I'm not going to find it. But you know what? I can use this one that I use with my tear and tape. So your gift card's going to go in right here. So that's what we're going to make now. First, we're going to make the pocket. No, we're not. First, before we make the pocket, in this center section, you want to take your 1 1/2 inch punch and you want to bring it, and you want to bring it about halfway. So I'm bringing it about halfway down, and I'm going to center it on each side, and I'm going to punch it. And that's going to make our little hole right here. So now we can make our pocket. Now, because we're using this a lot, I am going to use tear and tape. But you could easily use our CO Plus. You could use liquid glue if you want. The key thing, though, with this is you want to make sure that you are on the edges right here. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be our card here. Here's the front of our pocket. Here's the back of our pocket. That's also going to be the front of our card. So on this piece right here on the left-hand side, you're going to put tear and tape, but you're only going to put it on the sides and the bottom. That's it. That's the only place. And with this, you want to make sure that you are as close to the edge as you can get. Now, if you haven't seen my videos before, this is the way I love to do my tear and tape. I like to put my hand through it and hold it. I saw someone do this online and I thought, this was genius. Why haven't I thought of this? And it's easier to control and lay down. And then I take an old gift card and you press it down. And then if you hold it there and tear, you get a perfect line there when you're tearing off. I don't like my stuff jagged because, you know, me and my OCD, it's got to be nice and straight. Oh, I forgot to do the bottom. That wouldn't be good. Our gift card would fall out. So let's put that piece there. All right. Now, I use tweezers, or you can use take your pick and just pull that off. Some can do nails with my nails. I cannot pull, it's hard for me to pull that off, so I just use tweezers. Okay, and then we're just going to take this and we're going to fold it back over onto that center part. Okay, so this is how it will open up. And see, we have that pocket, and now this will fit right in there. Okay, so you also have a piece of Whisper White. It is 3 by 4 inches, and we're gonna go ahead and adhere that. This is for you to put your little note on. You could even stamp on it if you wanted to. I left it blank just because it's not very big, so you can write a little note. Again, I'm centering it and lay it down. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach this now. So because it's getting opened a lot, again, I am going to use tear and tape, but you could easily, like I said, you could use liquid glue, you could use the Seal Plus, you could use whatever you want. And I'm just going to put 3 strips. I'm going to put one on the top and bottom. Oh, make sure you can see that. And then one in the center. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this out because we're going to attach it to that. So did anyone get ordered today on the big closeout sale and the clearance update? Oh my goodness, that clearance rack was fabulous. Now, I did not get up at 2 o'clock, but I did get up at 4 o'clock in the Eastern Standard Time. It started at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was 12:01 Mountain Time, so it was 2:01 here. But I did get up at 4 because that's normal, my normal time to get up. So I did get up, and I was able to get everything but one thing, so I was happy about that I wanted. And I put that on crooked. Oh my goodness, did I ever. Let's see. But, good, I didn't stick it that hard. Yay, it came right off. Yay, because I put that on crooked big time. And I like to put my stuff on sideways. I don't know why, but I do. For some reason, it is easier for me to get it centered. Before I push that down this time, I'm going to make sure. I don't know what I'm doing this time, but I keep getting it crooked on the bottom. There we go. Okay, now I can press it down hard. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to decorate the front. You have a Pacific Point piece cut at 1 3/4 by 4 1/4 and a Highland Heather at 1 1/2 by 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and put the Highland Heather on top of the Pacific Point. Now you saw me flip that over and you're probably wondering, why did she do that? It is because when we cut our paper, sometimes it has, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, I'll try. It has like a little lip that kind of comes up, just tiny, tiny, tiny. And so I wanted the more smoother on the top. But if you need to, just take your bone folder like this on the edges, and it will put it right back down where it goes. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this. And we're just going to center this on our front section here. For tonight, I think I'm just going to lightly lay it. And this is a good thing to do too. Lightly lay it on there until you know that's exactly where you want it before you press it down hard. Okay, so now we're going to set that off to the side because we're going to do our stamping. I'm going to go ahead and bring in this. This is for the grid paper for the Stampin' Stamparatus. This is perfect when I'm doing little things. I don't need my big sheet, so that's why I brought this out. Now this is punched with the Everyday Label Punch. And so I'm going to ink this up, and I'm using the Merry Christmas from the Perfectly Plaid, and I'm using Pacific Point ink. Now I'm going to try to line this up. Number one, yes, I'm on my tippy toes. You know me because I'm so short, but I have the camera right above where I'm stamping and major lights everywhere. So let's hope I can get this centered. That looks good. Let's hope. And push. Yay! It worked. Woo woo, woo woo. Okay. Set that off to the side. And that's it for the Pacific Point ink. So you can go ahead and put that one away. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put dimensionals on that. I want that to pop a little bit. I just love fresh sheets, like fresh sheet of dimensionals. Makes me so happy. And I'm a person, you got to go in a row. It's so funny when if I have it at a class and people use it, they aren't like me and they go in a row. So when I go to use them again, I have to get it lined up again, get everything back in a row. Okay, I'm using my grid paper a lot for lining up and helping me keep things straight. So that's what I'm doing. It's lined up on my grid paper here. And I'm just trying to center. Again, I am not pushing it down. I just laid it on there. I'm going to pick it up and look at it. Yep, I like that. And then I'm going to push it. Oh, I guess I should have gone up a little bit higher, but that's okay. It will work. Okay, so now what I did was I cut these out with Pacific Point using the So Many Snowflake dies. Now, this spot in the middle here, here, let me get the, oh, flip this. This is our Take Your Pick tool, and I had out the spatula part, and I am going to switch that. All you do is twist it and lock it back into place. Oh, this is loose. Come on. There we go. Maybe twice from you, Mom. I still up at 2 a.m., so I went ahead and ordered, and then I realized I put one. Oh, no, Pam. Maybe you can give it away as a gift. You could always do that. I did buy a lot of gifts when I was on there. Okay, so what I was going to tell you is this circle is where I'm going to put my glue dot, and it's not very big. So I'm going to show you something that you can do. I opened up these glue dots, and they're backwards. You know how the glue dots are usually on here? They're not. They're on this part, and it is so confusing to me. I'm like, I just can't do this. Okay, so I'm just rolling it up in a ball like this. Real tiny ball. Oh, I need an even smaller, actually more ball shape, a round circle. And then I'm going to put that in the middle here. And I'm going to put one right over here in the corner. Like that. And it's going to raise it just a little bit up, which is what I would like. It's not going to be super flat. And that's why I like that when I do make the glue dots littler. It just gives it a little bit of height, not a whole lot. And we're going to be putting a die on there. Not a die, gem. So we won't have to worry about seeing that glue dot because we're going to be covering it up. And then I'm going to put the big one up here. Whoops. That didn't stick. Put that right there. That looks good. There we go. Okay, so let's get our gems. Now I used 2 of the little ones and 1 of the big ones. Okay, come on. There. Oh, you moved on me. Don't move on me. I cut these out in such little pieces that I'm having a hard time holding on to it. To get it off. There we go. Okay, so now all we need to do is put our ribbon on there and we're finished with this card. So let me get my bow maker out. And one trick, if you happen to have a bow maker or if you're doing something else and it slides around a lot, take out one of your silicone craft sheets and set it on there, and it's not going to move. It makes it so much nicer. So I'm just doing a basic bow here. I made the ribbon a little too long, but that's okay. Alrighty. Again, I will use a glue dot to attach this. Come on. There we go. And I'm just putting it right here on the bottom. And then we will trim, get out my ribbon scissors. We'll just trim the ends. And there you go. And you have your first gift card holder made. There. And you can go ahead and then just stick it in your envelope. Yay! So card number 1 is done. Okay. So let me clean up my stuff here and I will get my stuff out for card number 2. We are going to be making this one. So we're going to need our cherry cobbler, shaded spruce. You're going to want the tree, and you're going to want Merry Christmas. Let me put this let me set those right there so I can show you at the end. Okay. Get my little cheat sheet out. Oh, thank you. Okay. So, again, I gave you an envelope so that you would have something to put it in. And with this one, look how cute this is. I did find this one on, I believe, Pinterest. And you just stick your card right here. How cute is that? And then this is a place for you to write. And you can close it like that. So let's go ahead and get started with that one. I'll move that off to the side there. Okay, so what you're going to have for paper here. Now I put in there, in your kits, you're going to have 2 little circles. Those are the Velcro. So don't lose that because that's what's going to hold this together. So I'm going to actually set mine right on my computer. Thank you, Pam and Wynn. I don't need this right now, so let's move this too. Okay, so we're going to start with cherry cobbler. And this is cut at 4 and 1/4 by 9 3/4. I scored it at 3 1/4 and 6 1/2. Then we have another piece at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We have a scrap for a tree, a scrap of shaded spruce for the tree. I cut out another tree for using the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. And then we have the bigger piece of Designer Series paper is 4 by 5 1/4. The smaller one here is 3. Whoops, no, this one is, oh, it's stuck to it. 3 by 4. And this came out of the same pack. And then your Whisper White is going to be the exact same size too. And then your Cherry Cobbler is 2 by 4. And your Designer Series paper is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now, I use the 1-inch circle punch to punch this out, and that is a retired punch. So what I did was in all the kits, I went ahead and put these together, these two pieces, and punched it for you. So that's already put together for you. I just cannot give up my circle punches. I love them and I still use them a lot. You could use the layering dies, circle dies, you could easily use to cut out that if you wanted to. Okay, so let's just start. We'll go make our way up. We're going to take our big piece of the our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 of Cherry Cobbler, and we're going to take our Designer Series paper. This probably looks familiar. I use this, the other side of this one, the black and white for Halloween. I did a lot with that. So we're going to go ahead and put that one on here. All right. So we are going to, let's do our stamping first. Let's get that done. So I'm just going to move these pieces out here. Give me this. Okay. Make sure you guys can still see that so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Pam. So on the piece that is just the crumb cake, what I did was I put the Merry Christmas right here, up here in the corner. You don't have to be super close in the corner, but kind of up in the corner because you can adjust your trees when you're on. You just want to make sure you get it in that area. And it's photopolymer, so you can see if you got the ink in it. And I have used this set so much, and I love it, that I'm actually tempted to get another set. Because I think I've kind of worn this one out, believe it or not. I have a habit of doing that. I know one year we had the penguins that were so cute. I ended up using those so much in classes that I had 3 sets. Because I used them so much, I needed 2 sets for my classes. And I wore one totally out. It was shot. So I had to buy another one. So I had one because I didn't want to get rid of that one. I wanted to keep it. Okay, so the Cherry Cobbler, we're done with it, right? I think we're done with it right now. Yes, we are. But don't put it away. We're going to use it on another card. So on your Whisper White, we're going to put our tree here. Now, if you don't have the tree or you're using a different stamp set, it's okay. It's not a problem. But I am using it from the, oh goodness, I'm drawing a bite, Perfectly Plaid. And I'm using the Shaded Spruce, and I just put it right here in the corner. And if you don't want to, you don't have to stamp anything there. It's totally up to you what you want to do. It's your card, your project. Like I always tell my ladies, do whatever your little heart desires. It's your project. Don't put away the Shaded Spruce either. We will be using that again, but we are done with the tree. Or you know what? I have an envelope. Let's put a tree on the front. I am going to go ahead and stick, I'm bringing it back out again. I'm going to put a tree on the front of the envelope. Now, what I would probably do, and I did not grab it, on the one that we just made with the snowflakes, I would take my stamp set and I would put a snowflake on the envelope. I did not tell you guys we needed that stamp set. So any snowflake you had, you could put on there. It does not have to be from that stamp set. That would be cute on there, on the front. Because as Shelly, the CEO of the company, the daughter of Shelly, that was co-founder of Stampin' Up, she always says, you do not send out a naked envelope. And I'm like, okay. So I will definitely go back and do that. All right. So now we can go ahead and put our stuff together. So we're going to work on this layer here. So this is scored at 3 1/4 and 6 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and remember your valley is on the top. Your mountain is on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold this in. Now, this is one thing I want to show you. So here, see where my line, I think you can see my line right here of where it's scored. You want to take this one and you want it just under that line because you want to be able to bring this one over. So what I did, you're going to see it's not totally flat when I do that. So hold that in place. Take your finger or your bone folder. I'm going to just take my finger right now and I'm making sure my sides are even, but I want it down a little bit. And I'm just going to push it down and go out. And so I'm kind of pushing this out. I'm using that as a guide. And I'm not doing it real strong with my bone folder yet. I'm gentle, very, very gentle. I'm going to bring this one over. And I want to make sure this one is laying that it will close nicely over that one. Because had I gone all the way over, it wouldn't close nicely. So I'm just, again, gently laying it down. And now I'm holding it into place. Everything looks good. It's closing. I'm going to go in and I'm going to really push on those score lines. So I'm going to get it nice and burnished and I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to open it and do it again. So I'm really pushing those down now because that's where I want it. So it's going to open like this. So we're going to put our white in the center. Okay. Now we can go ahead in the piece that I already did for you. We can go ahead and we're going to put it down here. But again, you want to use tear and tape or something very skinny because you don't want it real thick or your gift card's not going to fit. So you want to go on the very edge of this. Oh, here's this. And you also want to do it on the bottom. So you want to do it on the sides and the bottom. Oops. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to put this edge right here, even with the edge here. Now this is a little bit smaller though. This is 4 1/4, this is 4 inches. So we're going to center it. And if you're not exactly lined up, it's okay if it's a little bit above it. You just don't want to go past it. So I'm not putting it down tight. I'm just lightly laying it, making sure it's right where I want it. It's good. So now I can press it down. And then I can go ahead. And your first couple times, this is pretty tight. I will tell you on this one. But the more you put it in and out like this, the easier it is to do. Okay, so we have, we have that part finished. So let's... You know what? We'll do our Velcro last. So go ahead. We're going to work on our top front. That's this piece right here. So I'm going to flip it over. So this is where my card holder goes. I'm going to flip it over and we're going to work on this piece and there's nothing on the other side of it. So we're going to work on this section. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put our designer series paper on here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put our trees on. Now, I did put dimensionals on the one punched out on designer series paper. I wanted that one to pop up. So what I did was I used one big one, and I used, let me see here. Oh no, I was able to get a big one up here and put it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm lightly laying these down. I am not sticking them down yet. They're just going to lay there first to make sure it's where I want it. Oops, bring this in so you can see it. And then take this off. I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and press them down. I like that where they're at. Okay. So this is how it will go on your piece of paper here. It's going to go like this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to, on this center section right here, I'm going to use tear and tape again because I really want it to hold. I don't want that to be moving around, coming off. Oops, I got a little piece of paper stuck to that. And I just went around my edges. Oh, thank you, Andrea. I actually found somebody that was holding it, if you're talking about like this. I did see that one online, but I got tired of always pressing it down with either my bone folder or my finger or my nail. And I happen to have one of these just sitting on my desk, and that's how I came up with that one. Okay, so now I'm going to fold it in the way it should go. I just folded it like this, brought this in. And now I'm going to center this one on here. Again, we're going to lay it gently because if we want to move it, we can easily pick it up and move it. And what's nice is this paper has stripes, so it helps help you get it lined up straight too. Well, I need to go up a little bit. Now this is tear and tape, and it does like to hold. I may end up having to just leave it right there. If you huff on it, there we go. The heat of your breath will also loosen the glue. Or if it's really stuck and you need to get it off, what you can do is take your heat gun or a blow dryer and heat the back of your project, and that will help get it off. And also your dies, when you're trying to take them off, they're not stuck as bad as they used to be since we changed companies that make our dies. So it's not as bad trying to get them off anymore. Okay, that looks good. We're just going to leave it right there. Okay, I like that. Press it down. Hey, my nails kind of match, don't they? I planned it that way. No, not really. I didn't, but we'll go with it. Okay, so see, if I did not put that Velcro there, see how it sticks up? We don't want that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your two little pieces that I gave you, and see how I have them on here. So I have the dark one here, the clear one, the fuzzy one I call it. I'm going to put that one on first on the top. So what I do is I go ahead and stick that right where I want it. Whoops. If I can get it off my finger, there we go, press it down. Now what I do is I put this one then on top of it. So I make sure they're lined up, I press it on there, I take it off of take the plastic off, and then I close it. So now it's exactly right where I want it, and I don't have to worry about trying to line it up. And then you can open it up, and there you go. And you have your gift card holder. How cute is that? And we have our envelope to go with it, with the tree. Perfect. And that is card number 2. Okay. Now, I have to say, my next card coming up is my favorite. Oh, thank you, Wynn. This one is my favorite card. How cool is this card? Watch. It looks like a present. You pull it up, and your card would go right here. So let me put the card in. Here, let's do it again. You put the card in here. Put this back together. Oops. Okay. So you hand them a little present like this. Doesn't look like a little gift. You pull it up, and there's their gift card. And this comes right out. How cute is that? This is so fun. I love this card. Love, love, love it. I don't remember. Did I write that? Yes. The lady that I got this design from is Chris Slogger. S-L-O-G-A-R. I found it on Pinterest. And thank you, Chris, for showing me, because I love this. Okay, so we're going to be using, for this project, I'm just going to lay this on top of it like that. Real red and mossy metal this time. And let me grab, we're going to have this packet. And this time we're going to be using the warm hug stamp set. We're using Merry Christmas. This one's on me, Merry Christmas, and the little Christmas tree. So go ahead and pull this out. Let me move my stuff out of the way. Let me put these over here right now. Okay. Now there's quite a few little pieces for this project. Okay. So our big piece of mossy metal is 5.5 by 6, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch on the 5-inch side, and at, whoops, 1/2 inch and at 5 inches. On the 6-inch side, you're going to score it at 3 inches. Now we will be doing some cutting on these. Oops, sorry. Love this. Oh, thank you. I do too. Like I said, this is my favorite. It's fun. Oh, here's my cheat sheet. Okay, on this piece of mossy metal is, I got all my cheat sheets on here. Let me see here. Okay, well, this is going to be 5.5, and you're going to score it at 4.25 and 5.25 by 3 inches, and you're going to score it at 1.5. This piece is 4 by 4 3/4, and you're going to score it at 1 inch. So it should go this way. 4 by 4 3/4 and score it at 1 inch. I have to look at all my little notes here. Now for these little pieces, they are 5/8 inch. One is 3 inches. One is 1 1 1/3. Our little red ones are 1/2 inch by 1 3/4 and 3 inches. Your whisper white is going to be 2 by 3 3/4. You're going to have scraps. I use the layering circle dies to cut this out. This was cut with, I believe, the 1.5 inch circle punch. That's right here. Let me measure it, but I believe it was. Yes. And then your designer series paper. This is cut at 4 3/8 by 2 7/8 and 4 7/8 by 1 3/8. Okay, so the first part we're going to do is get your big piece out. And we're going to need to do some cutting here. Let me grab my paper snips. I like to personally, let me get all these little pieces out of the way. I personally like to do my cutting before I burnish my papers. But if you want to burnish them, fold down your score lines, before you cut, go for it. That is perfectly fine. Let's see. Oh, great, Win. I'm so glad they're going to work for you. Yay. And the best compliment anyone could ever give me is to make one of my projects. That is the best compliment. So what I'm going to do, it doesn't matter on which side because they're the same size, but one of the sides you're going to take from the bottom and you're going to cut it all the way up to that score line. And then you are going to angle just a little bit here so it looks like this. See how it's cut there? And then I'm also going to angle it a little bit at the top. It just makes it easier to fold and for it to, when we go to put it together, it's going to lay a lot nicer. So now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Now you can cut it like how I am doing it, and it's kind of awkward to tell you the truth. So I'm going to flip mine over. It's easier for me to flip it over. There. Okay. So now I'm going to burnish them. Here we go. Yes. Bring this up. And we're going to bring these in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put tear and tape on these sections right here. I may run out of tear and tape tonight. I got more I can go grab. I didn't realize I've been using it a lot lately on projects. So I'm just going to put it here. The reason I'm turning it around like that, when I ripped it over here, it's already at an angle. So it fits perfect right there. So that's why I was turning my card around, trying to get that lined up. Oops. There. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take those two pieces off. And you're going to fold that in. And you're just going to close this up like that. And that is this piece right here. This is what we just made. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to decorate some of this. So see here where the piece that I folded up, you want that on the back. You want where you put the tabs in on the front because that gives it a more finished look. You want this to look like this on the back. So you want the piece that we stuck that has the, I don't want to explain it. Here, I'll open it up so you can see. So the piece that has the tabs, that's going to be in the front. That's what we want on the front. So we're going to take our designer series paper, and you can use this side, you can use that side if you want. Whatever you want, it is your project. Oops. All right, try that. Again, I'm going to center it. Now, there's not a whole lot of room around, just a tiny section around the edges. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and do our little strip here. So I'm going to bring out my silicone craft sheet because I do not want, this is pretty thin, skinny, and I don't want to get tape on my mat. So I will go ahead and then I'm just going to put this in the center. And again, there's not a lot on each side. There. And you can go ahead and attach this right away. That looks good. Oops. And I'm going to take that up because it needs to go all the way to the bottom, not just, I was putting it to the edge of the designer series paper. It needs to go all the way to the bottom of the cardstock there. And what's nice again, this is striped paper, so it helps you line it up. So we're gonna go ahead and put that off to the side for right now. Now our next piece, we're gonna take our skinny piece here. Now for this one, I am going to use liquid glue just because this section right here is so skinny. So again, we're going to cut it just like we did our big piece. Take up one line, and then we're just going to angle this here and just a little bit here. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, and then go ahead and burnish. And like I said, see how skinny those are? So I am, like I said, I'm going to use liquid glue on that part. All right. Liquid glue. Tuck them in. Press it down. I thought so. I put a little too much on. So what you can do is you can wipe it off with your fingers, or what I like to do is just take a wipe, because that way then the glue doesn't get all over my fingers. You get your paper just a tad bit wet. It's not going to be a big deal. It's just a little bit, and it dries real quickly. Now, when you do use the liquid glue, you need to hold it down for just a second. Not a real long time, but to make it so that it adheres. And we're going to go ahead and put our designer series paper on it the same way we did the first one. The piece with the flaps is the one we want to put our designer series paper on. So I'm going to look on the inside. So my flaps are on this side. Oops. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, that's better. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. So we're not going to put the, you can go ahead and put your red on your green, but do not attach it yet to this piece. Okay, and set that off to the side. So let's go ahead and do our stamping next. So we want to get out our circle, and we want to get out our piece of white. And we're going to be using real red in the mossy meadow, but we'll be using real red first. Okay. We're going to be using, this one's for you, or this one's on me, Merry Christmas. Okay. All right, you might see my head. I'll try not to get it in here. I'm going to try to get this lined up. Oh, yay, it worked. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so while we have the real red out, I'm going to go ahead and take the Merry Christmas, and I'm going to stamp it on my piece of white. Well, mine's got something on it, so I'm going to flip it over. And you know what? Before I do that, I need to smooth that edge out. Okay. Again, I'm just putting this, I believe I centered it. I did. we're going to do it on here. And I'm just going to center. You can leave it off. You can put it to the top, to the bottom, whatever you want. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, let me clean that off. You hear me making that noise? I'm using my chamois. Okay, so we can move that off to the side. And I believe we are, yes, we are done with Real Red for the evening. Okay, so for our Mossy Meadow, I love this, but I'm like, that needs something. So I found this cute little tree in that stamp set. And I tried it. There is a stamp set, a stamp in here. I'll show you that you can fill in. Let me quick, and I'm just stamping this in the center. Okay, and I want to show you something. So I'm going to stamp this. And then I'll show you in the stamp set, there's this another piece. And I'll just show you on my scrap paper. But it was, to me, it was too much on this project. But I want to show you what it would look like if you did want to fill in your tree. You can always tell when they're brand new, they stick to everything. Okay, let's see if I can get it lined up here so you can see what it looks like. And that is what it would look like. And to me, for this project, it was too much. I wanted it just the outline. So that's what I did. But that is available in the stamp set if you want to do that. Okay. And I believe we are done with Mossy Meadow too. Okay. Get these out of our way. So don't put that back there. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and you're going to want to burnish this, our last piece of Mossy Meadow. You want to burnish it. And we're going to go ahead and put on our piece, a big piece of white. Oops. And you're going to put it near the bottom. Okay. You're going to put your white circle on your green circle. And I think I told you, but I use the layering circle dies for the green. Okay, so now, here we have this section. This goes with this one. Okay, so now we need to get this into here. But how are we going to do that so that it still fits? This is what you're going to do. On the back, at the very top, again, you're going to use the tear and tape. And you're going to put that across. Okay, so you're going to take that off, the backing off of that. So you're going to take this, this is your top section, like the top of the box. And you're going to squeeze it, whoops. You want to squeeze it so you open it up a little bit like this. You're going to take this and you're going to put it towards the back. So first you want to do is you want to stick it straight down. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. You're going to stick it straight down and you're going to center it. So I don't have it leaned against anything. I'm looking to see if it's centered on each of the sides. It is. I don't know if you can see that. It is. So I'm going to lay it down and then I'm going to press it down. Now it's pushed in all the way and I have it centered on each side. So now what you're going to do is for it to fit in here is you're going to take this piece, you're going to slide it in here like this and it'll slide in. When you go to put it together, you're going to take this and you're going to open it a little bit, like squeeze it a little bit, and you're going to slide that in there like that. And you have it lined up. So I want to make sure this is perfectly lined up when I slide it in there, which it is. So when I take it out, it's there. See, it can move back and forth. You don't want it way over there so the sides are together. You want it in the middle. And like I said, the first couple of times I had to squeeze this and make sure so it would fit in there right. But put it in the center and line it up. Now this is when you're going to put this piece on. And I will tell you, I cut this piece too long. But after, actually, whoops, come on, tape. Actually, when I was putting one together, because I always like to put one together so that I know, because I made these quite a while ago, so I refreshed my memory how to make them. It worked out better by having it a little too long. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up perfectly with this one. And see, this is why I said don't put it on yet. So I'm going to line that up, press it down. I have this piece that's hanging over. Now I have a little bit of glue on that, tape on that, and I have a pair of scissors that I only use for glue because I don't want glue on my paper snips. I don't want glue on my good scissors. So this pair of scissors, that's all I use it for. I use it for cutting like that because it had glue on it, or cutting the outside edges of my dimensionals. Like, whoops, I got one right here actually. So here you have the edge pieces of your dimensionals. This is what I use to cut them. Because if it gets glue on it, it's okay. And then when they get too gooey, gunky, then I take alcohol wipes and I clean them right off. They get nice and clean and ready to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this back together so you can see. And you just squeeze it a little bit and slide this in. Oops. There. Now, I slid that one in a little too far, so you can back it out. You don't have to go all the way in. You can bring this back out a little bit. There we go. I did. I have it in too far. Okay. So now I'm going to pop this up with a dimensional. And then I'm going to make my bow. Now, for this ribbon, this came from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon pack. I just love this white ribbon. I wish they would sell just this ribbon on its own because I love it. Okay, and we're gonna make our bow. I don't like how that turned out. Looking at this one, I think I did the 2 bunny ears on that. On how to do that, let's try it. I don't know if this is long enough to do it, but we're going to try it. I'll make the 2 bunny ears. But looking at that bow, I think that's what I did for that one. And then just tie a knot. Hopefully you saw that, but just when I do on Facebook, it's delayed a little bit, so I'm watching it. There, that's what I did, because I liked how it laid better. I went to using that. Okay, a little bit tighter. And you can just play with it, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just playing around with it a little bit. I want it there. Okay, I like that better. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and use a glue dot. The crazy glue dots that are on the wrong side totally confused me. Now for this one, I did use 2 glue dots. And I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to, oh, I guess I made this one a little bit bigger, didn't I? That's okay. It's whatever you want to do. It's your project. I'm going to just trim the edges, the tails. That looks good. There we go. And then I'm going to put this on. And that is how you make that project. Oh, I want to make sure this is straight. See how when I was working with it, it's crooked. So I want to straighten that out before I put this on, because that's going to show me where the top of my box has to go when I put it back together. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to put it right there. Now I just had a thought. You could put actually like a red rhinestone right there on the top of your tree if you wanted. You could definitely add bling to any of these cards. But that is how you make that card. Yay! Now I did not put an envelope with that one because I thought it looked like a present already. We didn't need an envelope for that one, did we? Okay, one more. And this one is Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. Now this design is from Tammy Beard. Thank you very much for sharing this. Whoops. Okay. So we need mossy, nope, I just need the cherry cobbler for this one. Okay, so this is, and I'm using the For You circle stamp, the candy cane, the center of the candy canes. And this says, may this special season be wrapped in love and joy. And that came from a little bit of both stamp sets. The warm hugs came the For You in the candy canes. And the inside sentiment, may this special season be wrapped in love and joy. And I'm going to use the Merry Christmas. So we're going to use both stamp sets on this one. But this one, you're going to open this up. And I found this, oh, you see my cheat sheet. The designer series paper is from the 'Tis the Season design paper, designer series paper. But you open it up like this, and your gift card will actually go right here. So when they open it, whoops. Oh, didn't mean to do that. You know, I forgot to tape the bottom of that. That's why. Okay, so remember to do that. So that's how you're going to do that. Push it in there. Close it up. Put your band on. And there you go. And you have a cute gift card holder. So let's go ahead and get this one made. Let's do our stamping first to get that done on here. Okay, so here are your pieces, and this is the sizes you're going to need. Now, this piece is cherry cobbler. It's 4 1/4 by 5, and I scored it at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2. Now, on the 3 1/2 section, I believe it is. Let me double check. Nope, went this way. Okay, on the 1 1/2 section here, you're going to use the corner round, and I use the trio punch, detail trio. I just use this corner round there and rounded the corner. It just makes it look a little neater, so that's what I did on that. On this piece, you're going to, cherry cobbler is 4 1/4 by 3 1/2, and you're going to score at 1 1/4. And again, I use the layering circle dies, 1 1/2 inch circle punch, the tree punch, and I emboss this with the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. You have 2 pieces of Whisper White at 2 by 4, and your DSP is 1 1/2 by 6 inches. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our stamping. So I'm going to lay this here so you can see. Sure it's in the camera what I'm going to be stamping. Okay, so let's get out our cherry cobbler ink. So we need just all your Whisper White pieces are what you're going to need. So the first one I'm going to do Merry Christmas. Now, if you notice, I had put a tree there. I'm not putting the tree on here yet. I'm just going to set it. And the reason you don't want to adhere it yet is because if you make a mistake, you can always flip over your paper and restamp it. So we're just going to lay it there. So it gives us a guide of where to put this. Oops, it's not straight. There we go. And that looks good. Stamp it right there. Okay, I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do, because I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this on. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right side. And voila, this piece is done. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Perfect. So we're just going to go ahead and set that off to the side. Clean our stamp. You always want to clean your stamp right away. And I'm going to be stamping right away, so I'm not closing my ink pad. But you want to keep your ink pad closed too, because it will get on your projects. Ask me how I know that. Or it gets on your fingers, and then it gets on your project, and then you get upset. And so, all right. Now we're going to, on this piece of white, we're going to be stamping this. So we'll go ahead. Whoop, something's on there. Okay. And that I just centered. Nothing fancy. Now, I have been using these blocks a lot lately between my online classes and projects I'm working on. And I do notice when I'm using the reds that I clean off my blocks with wipes in between. But I have noticed that the red does not come off my blocks real easy with the baby wipes. So what I've learned, and also if they need a thorough cleaning, use alcohol wipes. The little alcohol pads, those will take it right off. If they're super dirty, if your blocks are, and I do this probably once, depending on how many times how many classes I've had and stuff, but about every 2 to 3 months, I will take all of these and wash them with Dawn dish soap, because that takes all the grease from my hands, because I put lotion a lot on my hands. So you can do that, and I'm going to try this actually this week. Someone told me to put them in your dishwasher on the top rack and run it through. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. And hopefully nothing happens to my blocks, or I'll be buying a lot of blocks. Okay, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. And they said yours will get so clean. Okay, it really doesn't matter that this is not put on there up and down straight, because it's a circle and we're going to be changing it around. So I'm just more concerned with lining it up. Okay, got to get on my tippy toes. Let's see if I'm as good as I was for the last circle. Yay, it is. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Oh, nope, I'm not done with that. Okay, clean this off. I almost forgot about the candy canes. When I saw the candy cane in the stamp set, I still hadn't decided to use this paper. Then I was like, oh my gosh, we got candy cane paper. And I'm like, this is perfect. And that's how I came up with the color. The color and the design for this project was I saw the candy canes and the paper. Okay, so I'm going to do the outside first. Some people like to do the inside first. It's whatever works for you. Okay, and then I'm going to do the inside. And I love that we can see through these, so we can see where we're stamping. Oh. Again, up on my tippy toes. Yay! I am doing good tonight. Woohoo! The other night I tried to do it and I redid it 3 times before I got it to line up right. Not sure what my issue was. Okay, we are done stamping. We are all set with that. Close up our simple chamois. We can be done with this piece. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere this right to our cherry cobbler scallop circle. And I'm going to go ahead. Oh, that is not centered. Let's try this again. Okay, now let's put a couple dimensionals on there. Now, for this one, you want to make sure your dimensionals are on the top and bottom. So I hold it here and I flip it over so I know, whoops, and then you drop it and you got to do it again. Okay, so we want it on the top and bottom so that it is on our band. Okay, perfect. Okay, we can set that off to the side. So let's make our base. So we're going to take this piece and we are going to burnish it. And just bring that little piece up. Same thing with this one. The bottom piece, so not the piece that we curved, the other section, you're going to bring that one up. Oh, I just did those backwards. Got to go bring it this way. There we go. And we're going to bring this one down. And they will overlap a little bit, and that's what you want. So I'm going to go ahead, for me, I think it's easier to go ahead and put your white pieces of paper on here before we start putting it together. Okay, the Merry Christmas is going to go on the 3 sections. And this one, because we're going to put it together like this, so you want to put this one on this section with the flap at the top. Okay, now with this piece, the one with just the flap, flip it over. Now on this one, again, you want to go real close to the edge. I want to see something. Hold on a minute before I put this on. I thought so. We don't want to put it on the bottom, because if we put it at the bottom, I think this is what I figured out why I did not put it at the bottom. Sorry, I'm just playing. No, do not put it at the bottom. You are only going to put it on the sides. I think mine slid through because I have been playing with that and showing it so much that is loose. That is why it went through the bottom there. But you're also going to be wrapping it, and so it will be safe. But because I'm like, well, wait a minute, we could put tape there, but we can't because your gift card will stick up too high and it won't close if we do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to take off these 2 sides. Oops. And we're going to attach these 2 together. So what I did was I laid this one flat. Make sure I'm putting this, yep. Like, so this is, there's nothing on it. We're on the back. And you're going to take this one and you're going to put this one on top. There we go. So then your gift card. Now this is tight because I just made it. Yep, perfect. Perfect. There we go. Awesome sauce. Okay, so then you're going to fold this up, fold this around. There we go. Make sure that it lays nice. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to go in and you're going to burnish it just to make sure everything's lined up. Okay, now to do our band. Let me take this so we can see it. Here is our band. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around here, and you want it snug. You don't want it tight. You don't want it too loose. So what I do is I took it, and this is going to be the front, and I try to kind of center it, and I just lightly wrapped it. And then I brought it around, and it, like I said, it's snug. It's not tight. It's a little snug. And I just kind of held it there, and I moved it back and forth like this to make sure that it would work. Because you got to remember, we're going to put a gift card in there, so it's going to be a little bit thicker. So I like where it's at. So what I'm going to do is, because again, it's going to be used a lot, I'm going to use tear and tape. So I'm going to put my card back in here. Put this here. And then bring this around. And you want to get it so it's lined up. Like that. Now I'm barely, see, like this side is not even down because I want to check it, make sure that it's going to slide good. It is, so then I can put it tight on there. Okay, so we already put dimensionals on here. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to put this right there. And there you go. Now you can do it so that you can't see this on the back. You could put it on the front. I didn't. I just put it around the back. No one is going to look at the back and say, oh, there's your seam. But if it bothers you, you can definitely do that. Okay, so let me clean up my mess here. Let me show you these 4, and then I will show you the one that I made for everyone and why I had to make them for everyone, because I was not thinking. That's why. So these are the 4 that we made tonight. Voila. Aren't those cute? Okay, so let me get, like I said, get my stuff out of the way here so I can get out the next thing. Okay, so when I was designing this class, I had heard that we were going to be doing the paper pumpkin for November was going to be gift card holders. I thought, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make one of those. And that way they can see the paper pumpkin and how cool paper pumpkin is. So I'm like, great. I'm getting everything together. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get things prepped, get things ready to send out to people. And I bring out this adorable gift card. So you get this little envelope. And then this is the holder that I made. And your gift card goes right in here, which I think is adorable. And so I'll show you the kit so you can see. And here is what the kit is. And just adorable. You get different colored doors, different styles. You get white that you can put on it in different designs, or you have plain white that you can play with. The envelopes, look at these candies. How cute are these? And then you also get this beautiful stamp set. And I'm like, oh, I'll get it out. And I went, oh my goodness. I'm like, none of them have the stamp set. What am I going to do? Oh no, I wasn't thinking that through very well. So I ended up making them. So if you bought my kit, you already have this one made. So that was what their 5th card was. It was, oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you got to watch it at work, Andrea. Oh, thank you, Wynn. If you guys could be so kind as to share it, that would be great. I would really appreciate it. But that is how I came up with the 5th one. And I was really bummed because I wanted them to play with the stamp, the kit and everything. And then, but I couldn't have them do that because they didn't have the stamp set. And so I can't stamp the images for you. And I was just like, oh no. So anyways, that's how the 5th one came up though. This is what they got for their 5th card. And they just got it done for them. So that's how I used. So thank you very much for everyone coming. Now, this is my last Facebook Live for the rest of 2020. I will be taking time off from doing Facebook Lives as I am busy with doing things for my family and getting things ready for my daycare kids and all of that and lots of projects I'm working on. Now, I'm not sure when I will be coming back. In January, I will be back because we are tearing up part of our house after the first of the year. We are getting new flooring on our main level. So we have to move everything, and that includes my daycare room. So I have to bring my daycare room down to my craft room. And then when we get done, we're going to take the daycare room up. And then I'm also moving my craft room to the main level. So it's going to be a very busy January, but I will be posting to my blog. I will be putting things on social media so you can keep up. Celebrations coming. And oh my gosh, the new mini catalog. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'll give you, oh, here's a quick sneak peek. I just finished this tonight. This is the calendar I make every year. This is the one I'm making. This paper is in the celebration, so you can get this paper free with a $50 order. This is from one of our new stamp sets. Don't know all the names yet, so I don't know what it is. And this is our butterfly punch. But I will be making those for my customers. But anyway, customers and friends and family. So, just please hang in there. I will be back. And you guys have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and let's pray that 2021 is much better than 2020, but there have been a lot of blessings in 2022. I love you guys, and thank you so much, and love you all. There you go. Mwah! Bye-bye.